Are we ready to go?
Yes.
All right. Stand for the pledge. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Sorry for the delayed start. We're still trying to get the streaming and everything working for getting compliance with the state requirements. We'll get there. Joe, Councilman Nels is absent tonight in work engagement. Any additions or changes to the agenda? I do not believe I have any. Is there anything?
I did.
Alright. Is there a motion to adopt the agenda?
I gotta make a motion to adopt the agenda.
I will second it. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Consent agenda items. Madam Clerk, would you like to go over those?
So the meeting minutes from our regular council meeting held on August 5th, 2025. APVs this month, August 1st through August 31st, $36,648.34. Payroll 8/13, 8/27, 8/29, $29,707.67. We also have road requisition and students.
Any questions regarding consent agenda? If there's no questions, is there a motion?
I make a motion we accept the consent agenda.
I will second it. All those in favor? Aye. Town attorney items. Anything in particular?
Nothing to report.
Thank you. Any financial items?
Not until we get to the budget.
That's good. Department reports, please.
So I have three things. So last month, on one of the other calls that we had, we removed 2 drunk drivers from the street. We also removed a serious violent felon that was caught in possession of a handgun. That was all last month. The other, I'd also asked the board to take into consideration vote. I wish to hire another part-time officer, William Lyman. I know I don't have anything in there necessarily for you. He just recently left Roseland, comes with a certification from ILEA, so he has the certs. The background check's complete. I found nothing that would flag as a reason not to hire him for a part-time patrolman.
Okay. Anything else?
Sir.
Thank you. Streets, Greg?
We're kind of right in the middle of transitioning right now from our spring, summer stuff to our fall, winter stuff. We just got new blades for the plows. Just got our other leaf vac all power washed and cleaned up, and that's getting ready to go in and get serviced. Our old leaf vac, we've got the new hose on, the new battery on, oil changed, and the new tires on that for the backup, ready to go. And cause it's coming quick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's already starting.
Yeah, I know. And I think I told you guys last month that I'm gonna start just like I did last year. Only I'm gonna start on the first week of November, and then we're gonna end it at our break at Thanksgiving. And we should be done. Hopefully the weather will cooperate a little better for us than the snow and the rain and stuff like that. And today we started hauling topsoil into the park. So that's gonna be a chore. We're gonna be doing that all week. I believe Joe is going to be there this weekend.
Yep.
Working, so we got about 10 or 12 yards today, and so for the next 3 days, that's all we're gonna do is hauling dirt, cause I think we need like 100 yards. And, I picked up 6 today, and it was good picking it up, but, we didn't wanna dump it. So we had to get the tractor and give it a little help to dump the first load, so then we just started getting 4 yards at a time, and that worked fine. So we'll get what we can get, so hopefully we'll get close to what we need for them guys for the weekend to do what they need to do.
Park's coming along.
Yeah, it's a mess, but you know what? The mess is gonna create really nice end to the deal.
Oh, yeah.
But you gotta wreck it first. You know? And it's a mess.
Thank you. Anything else, Greg?
No, I'm good.
I don't believe we have any update from code.
Been working on it.
Yeah. Anything particular from you, Tim?
No.
Any questions regarding department reports? Is there a motion for the
Make a
department?
motion to accept the department reports.
I will second it. All those in favor?
Aye.
Unfinished business. We've gotten 3 quotes now for electricity upgrades in the park. I believe they were varying greatly in the amounts.
That's why I saw that too.
One total. There we go. One total came out to 207,000. One total came out to 303,000, and then another total came out to 122,000. Now, the 303,000 and the 207,000 are very similar. The 122,000 does require some minimal work on the town side, as far as this is also including lighting around the park. And so the 122,000 one does not include the actual poles or the pads for the poles, which will be somewhere in the neighborhood of probably about 30,000. So even including that, that comes into around 152,000 for new electrical panels that will support the expansion of the park and the pavilion and the fan shell thing in the future as well. So this is obviously greatly needed. We've had trouble with the electrical, even with the minimal stuff that we do in the park, and then of course the festival as well. We've had issues with. So it's greatly needed, and as we continue to add more to the park, it's going to be required basically to have better electrical throughout the park. Councilman Nels put most of these proposals together, solicited them, so he's aware of them as well. And I think he suggested we go with the cheapest one. And the work shouldn't be too terrible on our end, and save about over $50,000 from the next closest one. And the another point that I did also bring up with them is we wanted to obviously have the park operational for our trick or treating that we do in the fall as well. So it should be safe to also have that like we did last year, and that was a very good turnout there. And excited to have that again here in a very short amount of time. So yeah, I don't think there was anything else to anything else.
No, they actually got it in 30 to 60 days. It's pretty quick.
Yeah, No, no. And it's, one of the panels, it's a little bit higher than we kind of were planning on, but one of the panels that is required, did, I think the cost raised by about, I can't remember how much, $10,000 or so to get a panel in the next 30 to 60 days versus 5 to 6 months that they were talking about for the other panel. And, I think that is probably worth it so that we're not in 5 to 6 months trying to rush around, especially with the festival and everything that'll be happening then next year. We need to make sure that we've got correct electrical items.
That's also upgrading the pavilion too.
Yes,
correct?
basically all the electrical in the park is gonna be upgraded, and then, with the understanding also that for expansion in the future, so.
Yeah.
Big, yeah, we tried to take into account everything we thought would be needed.
Yeah, they could stub all that stuff in.
Yeah.
This one.
Is there something?
No. That's gonna be it.
What?
So, I just want to know what this is.
Oh. Is it Beam Team Electrical? Or Beam Team Electric? Any questions regarding the electrical quotes?
We also reviewed that one right earlier.
Oh, yes. Good point.
Yeah.
I don't have any additional questions. I think, it was good that we kept kind of trying to get some different quotes, so that we're getting stuck with one of these is, I mean, it's still a lot of money, obviously, but, it's much cheaper than some of the other
And
ones.
some of those.
Yes, if you'd like to make a
I
motion.
make a motion to accept the bid from Beam Electric
For $100,
$22,750.
I will second that. All those in favor?
Aye.
Alright. Now, that finishes off our unfinished business. New business, is this an official budget reading? So I think we need to open, so, we now are opening up public comment for the official budget reading. This is strictly for the budget. We'll have a separate time for public comment regarding other items, but, we are required to open up public comment for the budget. So, if you have any comments regarding the budget, from the podium, state your name and address. Seeing none, is there a motion to close public comment?
I make a motion to close public comment.
I will second that. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, we are now going, anything else for the budget?
Yeah.
We're now open public comment. If you'd like to come to the podium, state your name and address, and you can address the council.
I have a couple of visuals here which I'll explain in my remarks. These are the faces of the cats that I will be talking about. Okay. My name is Mary Long. I reside at 1002 Distiller. Been a citizen of Osceola probably at least 20 years. My husband David's in the audience. We also have two of our neighbors here. We're concerned, about, cat colony ordinance. And we'd like to discuss that in regards to a breeding neglect situation in our neighborhood at the address of 917 Vistula, which is in the corner of Beach and Vistula. The director of Pet Refuge states that Osceola falls under the St. Joe County ordinance regarding outdoor cat colonies. On the afternoon, Tuesday afternoon on July 29th, I observed across the street two emaciated cats, a mama cat and a little tiny kitten that was about the size of my hand. That day was one of our very hot days here, so I texted my neighbor at 920 Vistula, Sue, and asked her if these were strays or if they happened to belong to Vic and Carol, who lived on the corner, who have been feeding stray cats, breeding, and dispersing them in the neighborhood for years. She went over to their house and said, yes, these 7 cats were Vic and Carol's. Vic and Carol feeds them, and they claimed ownership for these cats. That's a little cat house. I'm not quite sure what goes on with that, whether all 7 cats can fit in there or not. The next day, my neighbor at 12 Rivercrest, Sheila, had set out some bowls of food. My husband was out talking to her, and they were discussing the situation of these emaciated cats. We have neighbors who say they're feeding them, and the cats come, and they're starving and they're emaciated. So you can connect the dots. She said she reported Vic and Carol to the Humane Society for their breeding and neglect in the past. An animal control officer came out, did a drive-by, and told her he didn't see any cats. On my poster, there's bushes that separate Vic and Carol from Sheila. So the cats can be in the bushes. There's also trees there they can hide in. So, very well could have been there. I thought when a complaint was made, you were required to knock on the door and do a face-to-face encounter. I don't know. The other 5 emaciated cats appeared. Neighbors started feeding them. We have another neighbor that feeds. I don't know. Last year, my husband and I, this is a difficult situation to talk about because I've lived it. I've watched the cats come year after year in the winter, and when you see a cat limping down your sidewalk with infected pus draining out of its eye, I don't know. It's just a hard situation to deal with. So, last year my husband and I went over to talk to Vic and Carol, and I had information from the Amish and pamphlets, and I explained the spayed and neutered program to them. They opened the pamphlets and looked at them in my presence. I left them my name and phone number, and I never received a call. The breeding and neglect situation has continued. These cats are not ferals. They play with feather wands. My neighbor Stephanie here can touch them, pick them up. They enjoy human contact. The cats have fleas and mites in their ears, possibly worms. And these conditions should be treated. If you lived in bushes outside, you'd have fleas and mites and worms too. So the cats do not deserve to be neglected and denied routine veterinary care. The mama or the female kittens could become pregnant yet this fall. According to the Pet Refuge Director, this would add 6, 10, or who knows more cats into this area, which could just explode. Please review the Osceola outdoor cat colony ordinances and come to a resolution regarding the situation. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Did you want me to pick up my visuals or you want to go down?
I mean, if you'd like to leave them, that's fine. Or if you'd like to take them, it's up to you.
Okay, do you mind if you do the pictures? Okay, I can leave my poster, I can leave the pictures, and these are Vic and Carol's on their property. I did not go out on their property. My neighbor Sue sent these to my phone, I downloaded them at Walgreens, so. Thank you.
Yeah, appreciate it, thank you.
May I add to that? My name is Dave Long. I'm obviously her wife, her husband. We have been also at the immediate time trying to take care of these cats and give them food so that they're not starving. And we're also trying to get them to get used to human contact so that when something is able to be done, that hopefully they can be adopted and put in a loving home. So we've been working to do those type of things in the meantime. Been careful being across the street from us where they've been coagulating. The one neighbor, not the ones that we're talking about that created the problem, she told me, she said, you're more than welcome to try and take care of them and do what you need to do as far as getting them spayed and neutered. We were welcome to do the feeding and stuff on her property, so we just thought we needed to get you guys involved to know what's going on in our area. And we're trying to solve a problem here so that we can cut the cord of it's just gonna get worse and worse, and then people are gonna be hitting them out in front of the road too. That's happening too, so.
If I might add one more thing, sorry to interrupt you. If you read the ordinances, and I've read through them, the person who maintains ownership is to have them spayed, neutered, vaccinated, veterinary care there to provide in the winter housing, little houses and things, and medical attention. I don't know if you're familiar with Meow Mission, but they've been involved in a lot of these situations where they go in and help. They give you cages, help you trap, get them spayed and neutered for a small fee. It's not $300 or $400. It's cheaper than that. So, but these ordinances state that this person who owns these cats and has ownership is to take care of that. And once you cut that cycle of cats reproducing, you know, these kittens are gonna disperse in our neighborhood and go here and there and breed 6, 10, 13, all of it. Now, I'm gonna bring up a subject that is a little bit sensitive. Last winter, we had a coyote on our property, around my houses, up and down the river when it was frozen. There was only one male cat left last winter, come spring, and I'll let you do the math on what happened to the cats. I think this is very cruel and sick. So, we're here for a solution. We have a problem. If you're not part of the solution, then you're part of the problem. So, thank you for listening.
Thank you.
Christian Kubowitz, I live next door, and we've been feeding the cats, and there's at least 10 to 12, maybe even more. It seems like every day a new one pops up. And so my daughters have been going there and feeding them, but you know, I go out in the morning before they get on the bus to make sure none of them have been hit. You know, once it starts to get darker, you know, they start running across, and now that they've become more familiar with us, I think it's luring them to come across the street more. But you know, once it gets cold, you know, it's just that they're not going to have any shelter, and
I have no idea.
who knows, by the time winter approaches, you know, we may have another 12. So
I'm not defending those people, but this has been going on for like 6 or 7 years. I think what's happened now is it's snowballed out of control. Because typically when you put food, having done animal control early on, it just spawns out of control, and then you have inbreeding, and then, and then when you're feeding them, cats just keep coming. And I think it's gotten out of control for them. And again, I'm not defending them at all, but I know that at least as of 5 years ago when I was out there, they have they've got a heated thing, and I'm not, again, just saying heated, so I think it's just something that spawned out of control for them. And I mean, I think, and again, not defending them, I think they think that they're doing right by them, but they're really not. in that sense. And again, I think it's just this snowball effect that needs to be corrected. And I mean, I'm agreeing with you, the cats need to be spayed and all that. I don't think there's enough food to go around when they put the food out, because there is so many of them now. So, like I said, it's been around for a little while. It just hasn't gotten to this level where it's at now.
And thank you for your comments, Tom. I understand what you're saying. You need to get your head around the concept. They need to be spayed and neutered. Yes, they have a house, but you've gotta stop them. And if you take ownership for those cats, you need to get them spayed and neutered. And there are, like I said, Meow Mission will work with you for a nominal fee, and they may even waive the fee. You know, there are situations where they do that, they do great work. So, either close up shop, close up your feeding station, close up your heated house, and that's it. Or get them spayed and neutered. The cycle continues, it continues, and you can't go out and tell the cats, oh, don't breed any more kittens. Duh, that's what they do. So the cycle is stop it. And there are agencies to help. Humane Society maybe, I'm not sure. But anyway, that's how to stop it. We could not stand to see cats starve. That is why we intervened in this situation, because if we didn't, a lot of those cats would have been dead. So, what was our choice? To watch those cats starve? I don't know.
I don't disagree with you a bit.
That was the decision we made. But I think it all stems back to spade and neuter. So.
And we wanted to bring it to your attention so that you guys are the government entity, and, you know, we wanted to see with your intelligence of what you guys had, if you know what we can do to even get this situation resolved.
No, I appreciate you bringing this up and bringing
Thanks
it
a
to our
lot for your
attention.
time, I know that's a lot to swallow, but.
Yeah, it's obviously a very sad situation, and, we'll see what.
They're all
What options we
beautiful,
have.
other than the bugs and stuff that they've got now, they're very, it's amazing how good they look, so they're viable, you know, and that's a sad story in itself, you know. Hopefully, may not be able to save them all, but hopefully we can fix the problem,
Yeah,
okay? Thanks
appreciate it.
again.
Thank you.
It's like I don't have anything with the cats, but my name is Melissa Verhovey. I'm here in representation for Penn Park Baseball and Softball. I don't even know if this is honestly the right meeting, but we're gonna just figure it out. We have people that would like to rent out the park to facilitate a fundraising softball event for one of their teams, which is what they call a Midnight Madness. I don't know if any of you know what that means, but it means that they play all throughout the night. It's kept to a high school level age bracket. We have portable lights that we're able to bring into the park to illuminate and create safety areas and things like that. But with the noise ordinance and things like that, we figured it best to come and ask permission first before we do that, rather than find out the hard way later.
How many people are we talking about?
Right now, we're looking to invite a total of 6 to 8 teams to participate in the event. That would be roughly 12 players per team, which usually at the high school level you could have anywhere from one parent to no parents. Some girls are driving themselves. So I would say roughly 150 people.
Is there a date you guys are looking at?
We're looking at October 4th. And it would start at 4 p.m. and end at 4 p.m. on that Saturday and end at no later than 11 a.m. on that Sunday.
Oh, so it's
Literally,
all night?
yes.
Wow. I don't know off the top of my head what ordinances would necessarily apply to this.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think that probably the noise ordinance, I'm not sure what else beyond that.
It would just be probably the noise ordinance.
I was just gonna say, when I looked at all the.
You what?
You have hours at the park too?
I mean,
It's
an hours.
private- It was just gonna say, it's,
And
yeah, it's technically private property, but
Okay.
as being
Different
good,
parking.
I was like, as being good citizens, we don't want to, you know, make waves. Our thought was to keep it to the two back fields, 8 and 9, that, have, I'll call it a forest barrier, it's not really a forest, but, to minimize any lights that any neighbors would see at any odd time, of the night. And it kind of corrals that noise where it's not echoing and so forth, so, it's literally in the back parts of the field.
So is that the part closest to the church?
It's, well, it's almost like I can't even see the church from there, so. There's two fields in the very back part, I can't see a church from there because of all the greenery, but it is two of the fields that butt up to the elementary school. So there is a track
Yep.
in between, and then there's the elementary school.
It's the ones you're talking about back by the
Okay.
church. You just can't see the church.
Yeah, I was just, I'm not really familiar with the church that's over
It's the
there.
two very back ones.
I'm very familiar with it, my
Yeah.
house backs up to
Okay,
the track. So.
Yeah.
so that way the lights wouldn't be impeding any neighbors into their homes or anything like that, because those are the two most secluded, I'll call them, fields.
So you are looking for an answer pretty quick
Doesn't,
then?
I was like, it doesn't have to be right now, I mean, with running tournaments and things like that, we tend to have relationships with the people that wanna come and play, and it's almost like we wanna invite you, because it's technically not softball season, right? It's, teams are getting together to see how their pieces are, it's more of a fun tournament for the girls to team bond, build relationships and things like that, rather than hardcore softball yet, cause that's not until the spring, so it's more of a fun tournament to let them, relax and play softball under a non-stressful environment.
Will there be anything else going on during that time? Just basically.
Just,
Fun.
yeah.
Well, I didn't
I was
know,
like, we don't have time for anything.
well, I didn't know if you guys would be also setting up like some type of entertainment type of
No.
stuff along.
No. Mm-mm. Nope, one game after another, so,
Are you guys serving food during that?
we don't plan to, no. I mean, just whatever the teams bring for
Yeah.
their Gatorade and so forth. Early, I mean, there's nobody that will want to be there all night as far as food truck option, but we are not equipped to handle all that, it's just very small. So if there were to be a food truck option, it would be during the dinner hours, which wouldn't affect noise ordinances or anything like that.
I think they just wouldn't necessarily have to get the permit.
I was just
right?
gonna say, I was thinking about special use permit kind of thing, I just didn't know, so I figured this would probably be the best form to come in.
I would think the other part to that would be, it's imperative to make the community aware that's around that area that that's going on, so that they just don't look out their window and see it when they go, what's going on, at least they can understand it. And even with the permit, we would still have to service calls there if there was a call, hey, somebody is complaining, just need to bring it down a notch, and it'd probably be something as simple as that, but I think getting it out to the community and letting them know that it's a fundraiser type thing, people are a little bit more accepting of it, knowing that it's only this one time, and it's just, you know, once it's over, this is when it's done, and I do recommend doing that part of it.
Is there any recommendation on how you would like us to communicate that?
You can do it through, you know, Facebook, you can do it through, I
Just
mean,
putting something out on our
But
social media.
something out there, I mean, even though you're not encouraging other teams, and you're not even posting in some of the places in town so that people are aware that this is what's going to go on that day.
You can certainly do that.
I think that would take down your complaints quite a bit. I'm not saying we won't get any, but I think it'll bring it down quite a bit.
Yeah, so I think, apply for the noise permit and, we can obviously review it at that time. Yeah.
Thank you for your time.
We posted on Neighborhood Watch,
Yeah, I
everybody will
was
know.
just gonna say. Well, I was thinking like,
Mine is Catherine.
nosy neighbors, I don't know.
They'll find out quick.
Absolutely.
Good evening, my name is Christine Alter. I live at 1404 Franklin Street. First of all, let me say thank you for allowing me to speak tonight. I've been a high school and middle school teacher in our community for 23 years, and I'm a single mom of 2. My oldest is a freshman at Penn, and my youngest, Max, is 9 years old. Max is diagnosed at 2 with autism. Generally, the public has been educated that autism occurs on a spectrum, because as we say in our community, if you've met one person with autism, you've only met one person with autism. But as we've become more aware in our communities, autism is in levels. My son lives with level 3 profound autism. That is the most serious level. He is nonverbal, although as all of you have heard tonight, that does not mean he doesn't make noise. He has echolalia, which means he can echo or repeat phrases that he hears, but he's not able to use language effectively as a form of communication. He has severe anxiety, ADHD, and significant cognitive delays. All these words just mean that my child struggles every day. He struggles to understand the world around him, and he can't tell me when he's hurt or sick. When he's upset, he harms himself violently, but doesn't understand why. Max attends a public school in PHM, and classrooms there are loud and boisterous, as they should be. But for Max, that's very difficult because he's overcome with sensory input, lights, noises, changes in routine. There are very few services for kids like Max until they turn 13, and then they're abruptly cut off at 21. Max does have the Medicaid waiver from the state of Indiana that helps with the cost of diapers, medication, therapies, and 10 hours of respite care for me a week. In the last 6 months, we've lost our Medicaid waiver 4 times. The first time they said that we didn't prove he was autistic enough. Then we lost our services because when I update his paperwork every 6 months, as is required, I didn't check the "do you want to register to vote" box because I've been a registered voter since I was 18. The next letter came that said that the medical information I provided did not prove that his impairment limits his ability to perform labor services or engage in useful occupation. I remind you, he is 9. Once we proved he was 9, they cut us 6 weeks ago because we could not prove that he had autism all 12 months of the year. Every time I lose Medicaid, I lose the diapers, money towards the medication that cost me hundreds of dollars, and I lose any caregiver that I may have been able to find. And yes, that is my responsibility, not the state's, to find the caregiver, to make sure they can handle Max's unique behaviors so I can go get a haircut or take my other child to go back to school shopping. I tell you all this because it shouldn't be this hard to provide for a child with severe disabilities, and because I'm a very frustrated mom who's doing my best to care for him and work full-time to provide for my family. And because when his doctor suggested that chickens and ducks were a good form of therapy for him, I didn't hesitate. And I admit I didn't fully understand the town's requirements for these animals, and I just wanted to find something that would help him. I spend an enormous amount of time filling out paperwork for schools, doctors, therapists, teachers, activities, and quite frankly, I just didn't do any more paperwork. I just wanted to help my son. We spoke to all of our immediate neighbors to make sure the animals were not a problem for any of them, and I provided the council with statements from all of our neighbors. Our neighbors have been a great support to me since I moved to Osceola in February of 2024. And we're very lucky and blessed to have them because they've been patient and understanding as we help Max grow. When we first moved to Osceola, Max refused to stay dressed. He went to the bathroom inside and outside the house and screamed for hours in the yard. In the last few months, since we've gotten the chickens and ducks, Max has learned to stay fully dressed at all times, uses the bathroom now during the day, and has learned to calm down faster in the presence of the animals. The animals help him with structure and routine, getting up early in the morning. He's learning self-care from helping me to care for them, and honestly, he does love just watching them run around. I have registered the animals as emotional support animals with our specialist and doctor's paperwork. And as you know, that is protected under the federal Fair Housing Act, which only has 4 exemptions for animals, none of which apply to my particular animals. And I understand that people feel this is unfair, that we have these animals and that they cannot. We've had a few interactions with the family a few blocks away that are upset with us, but I really would like to respond openly and honestly to you about that. If you want chickens and ducks, then you have to have a child with profound autism. And yes, that's not fair. It's also not fair that my child struggles to fit into any part of our world. Max has never been invited to a birthday party by a classmate. He has never had a sleepover. He doesn't have any friends. Max doesn't know what his birthday is, why we celebrate Christmas, Halloween, or 4th of July, which is one of the hardest nights of the year for us, because with the fireworks and parties that go on for days, he doesn't sleep, and I have to just try to keep him from hurting himself. This is from a dislocated shoulder from the 4th of July, because he came overwhelmed from the fireworks. Max doesn't get to have a driver's license. He doesn't get to go on a first date or go to college, fall in love, or have the dignity of a job. And he won't understand one day when I'm gone where I went and why I left. So yes, it's not fair that I'm asking for chickens and ducks, but neither is autism. Our chickens and ducks have done no harm to anyone else, and they bring a ray of sunshine to my son's life. We aren't able to go to parks or zoos, festivals, restaurants, or even church anymore. So we've created a sanctuary in our home to help him be himself, be happy, and be free. So we're humbly asking for your support in obtaining a permit. And if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer. I'm sorry for being
Thank you for coming this evening. Obviously, very tough situation. What, you currently have what?
So we lost a chicken last week to one of the raccoons, so we just have the 3 chickens. They're all females, hens, and we have 2 male ducks. No females, no roosters. That has been reported several times to code enforcement. We have been working with the town's code enforcement to make sure that we're in compliance with the requirements, even though our property does not meet the 1.3, it's just shy of that. We've been working with them to make sure that the coop is the correct size, the space is the correct place. We did take a little bit of a beating with that last big storm that took down all our nets and damaged the coop area, so we are working on repairing that right now.
What size of property do you have?
I believe we're just under 1. I'm not quite sure how it's measured because we pulled our fence back closer to our property, so I'm not sure how far to the road that our property goes. We have had the police that have come out the one time when after the storm happened and the chickens came out, they went to our neighbor's yard. Both those neighbors that they were in their yards have written statements to you guys to let you know that they support us. And directly after that, we clipped the wings so they're not able to get out of the yard anymore. We've had quite the skunks have gone away from the neighbors' yards and ours now with the chickens and ducks too. Apparently they're not natural friends. There's a plus to that.
That would be a consequence.
If I could, Mr. President, I would be glad to meet with this officer after the meeting and explain some of the legal issues that are at play so that you have a better understanding.
That would be
I'm glad
great.
to do that. So,
Yep, thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Peter?
And I'm not expecting any sort of answer tonight.
Yeah.
Code enforcement just asked me to come and speak with you guys tonight. Thank you. The Humane Society has been out to the property as well, and they said we need to get the permit through you. And once that happens, then they'll come do a coop inspection.
Yeah, I believe you'd have to allow an exception. Is there any plan for expanding beyond what you currently have?
No, not at all. I'm just learning about chickens as we've been going through this. I did a lot of research before I thought I did anyway. I'm a teacher, so I do that a lot. But no, there's no plan, and if anything else were to happen to any of the chickens from just natural predators, they won't be replaced. we just don't want them to have to go through losing them and then replacing and losing, so we won't be replacing any. So.
Okay, I think that's all.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate you coming out, thank you. Any other public comment? Seems to be a night for animals. Is there a motion to close public comment?
Make a motion to approve the comments.
I will second that, all those in favor? Any announcements? Trunk or treat is set for 10:25, that's at the park, correct? So that is coming up here very quickly. We will have another meeting before then as well, so make a statement of that. Anything else? Is there a motion to adjourn?
I make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second it. All those in favor?
Aye.
6:51. Thank you everyone for coming out tonight.
Joel's not here. But it's electric, we know the electric's, approved now, so it's happening. He's like,
Oh, thank you. You too.